Good morning and welcome to our morning prayer service this morning. Today promises to be an absolutely beautiful day. The sky is blue, the sun is shining, and today we celebrate Earth Day. So our service this morning will reflect that theme of God's creation and giving praise for it, the many blessings that we enjoy. So let's light a candle this morning. Whoops. If you have a candle, please do light your candle along with me. Okay, there we go. So let's just still ourselves inside as we move into a time of prayer. The earth shall be fair and all her people one. The whole universe is a gift of God. Everything here is a gift of God. We are the gifts of God to each other. We are all part of the procession of life. Let us celebrate as we sing our joy in God's creation. Out of nothingness, we came through birth into life with the Spirit of God within us. From the life of God, the universe unfolded into being with the Spirit of God within it. From the heart of God, creation goes on till the end of time, with the Spirit of God within it and with our spirit within it. Let us delight in God, who enfolds us in his love. Praise you, Lord, for your love, which is seen in all the earth, reaching out to us all, offering the world new birth. So let us just take a moment to reflect on how we live life on this planet, how we have not always been gentle and humble with God's creation. Let's just have a moment of quiet and then a moment of confession. Creator God, we confess that our creating often goes wrong. We are sometimes ignorant, we are sometimes careless, we are sometimes short-sighted and self-interested. Let us be aware of our failures in creation. Forgive us, gracious God. We long to live in harmony with all that you have given us. Amen. God is always the creator and the recreator. Let us celebrate the creation which is offered to us at this moment. Praise you, Lord, for your love, which is seen in all the earth, reaching out to us all, offering the world new birth. Amen. And our first reading is a bit different this morning. It's actually a paraphrase of Genesis chapter 1. Before the beginning, there was only God and nothing else at all. On the first day that all things started, God sent his Spirit, winging over the emptiness that was not himself, like a white bird over a grey and tumbling sea. On the first day, God said, "Let there be light," and the sun came up like a shining new penny over the empty sea. And that first night, there were riding moon, and the stars were like a million holes in a blue velvet sky. Then there was a week of making, such a week as God had not known before. Dry land came like a whale out of the water, and on the land grass green as gooseberries, and gooseberries themselves, and great trees thrusting up out of the warm earth, their leaves whispering in astonishment at the breeze. In the sea below the untrodden beach, there was a silver flicker of 1,000 kinds of fish, and beneath them in the great deeps, the sea monsters, Leviathan and his kind. To fly in the sky, God made winged creatures, butterflies, pretty as paint, dragonflies like jewels in the air, and all manner of birds, from the 1-inch hummingbird, which can also fly backwards, to the great albatross soaring over the ocean like the Spirit of God. God made creatures to live on the dry land. He made the dappled fawn stand in the glade by the pool. He made the giraffe so proud, so very proud, saying to all beneath him, "Oh, who but me has a neck like a fire escape?" He made the lynx with the long tail, and the Manx cat with no tail, and the wise grey elephant with legs like logs and a tail at both ends. From the small snail with his fragile house on his back, to the tawny lion, king of the jungle and needing no house. God made them all. Last of all, God said, "I will make human beings in my likeness and after my image." So out of the dust of the earth, God formed the first man and breathed life into his nostrils. And the first man, Adam, stood on the new earth and looked into the eyes of God, and he was not afraid. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. And now we have a story to reflect upon. Jesus used to tell lots of parables. He took inspiration from his daily life and told amazing stories that had layers of meaning woven through them. This story isn't one of Jesus's parables, but it is still in that tradition. So let me share this with you. Once upon a time, there was a man who lived in a beautiful kingdom. One day the king sent for him and said, "I would like you to become the royal gardener and look after my garden while I take care of the business of looking after the kingdom. You must keep it in good order and nurture the plants so that there will be enough for all of my people." The young man was delighted and set to with a will, but after a while he grew tired of catering for everyone and started growing only what he liked and the plants to fuel his own fire, and he fenced off parts of the garden so only he could use them. Then he thought, this is too much work, and he converted the part of the garden furthest away from his house, so his neighbours had nowhere to grow their plants to feed themselves and their families, and they soon began to starve. They said to the young man, "Please, can we share your food, since we can't grow any of our own?" But he told them, "No, I won't have enough for myself." And he built a big wall to separate him from the rest of the people. Gradually, though, his part of the garden stopped flourishing and the plants began to die. The diversity had disappeared, the huge wall blotted out the sunlight, and he began to starve. He got in touch with the king and asked him to make the garden beautiful again. The king said, "I've been trying to get in touch with you for a long time, but you have ignored my calls. I wanted to help before it got too late, but now there is nothing I can do about it. Our beautiful world is spoiled because of your selfishness." and he banished the man from his kingdom to wander the wasted earth. That's a lesson, a modern parable, I suppose, for us today. We continue worldwide to lose lots of green spaces, some of it irreparable. We have lots of building projects and pollution and starvation in parts of the world that are increasingly becoming more and more important. We can't turn away anymore from these issues. But we worship and love a God who invites us to work alongside him to heal the world through the love of his Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. So let us return to our time of prayer. God spoke light into the void, and the light is in our hands against the darkness. God clothed the world with sky, and we ride upon the wind and breathe among the leaves. God gifted us with earth and with water in between. We dig and float and drink and grow and know the power of earth and sea. We paint and sing and work and dance in company with God. We share the earth with all that is in harmonies of warm and cold, in green and desert, crowd and alone. We feel the pain, we feel the joy. God is our Father and our Mother. Christ is our brother, the Spirit within us. We celebrate our sharing in the recreating of the world. Amen. So let us sit still among the pain of the world. And let us name some of the pains of the world. The overuse of plastics in our sea. The use of fossil fuels. The encroachment of our deserts with the effects of climate change that destroy good fertile ground that we can cultivate to feed ourselves. The destruction of our forests. The hunting of our precious wild animals so that they are on the brink of extinction. Lord, in your mercy, hear our prayer. Beside each other within the earth, part of the earth and of the earth, we are vulnerable with her and are her people. We are people of pain and fear. We are people of anger and joy. We are people of compassion and grace. We are one with each other and one with God. In all of us is a longing for a life that has not yet come, and for a world that is free and just, a dream of hope for all people, together with God. Amen. I am invited to join in with the words of the Lord's Prayer. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Let us go forth and share in the recreating of the world. We go in faith to be the people of the new creation. May the sun warm your soul and the moon be gentle above you. May the Creator hold your hand and the Christ walk in your footsteps. May the Spirit dance in your playing and grace be found in your way. Amen.